And actually, talking about the exam, let me talk about the topics that we need to have very well practiced for Friday. And today's activity, I want you to make a special emphasis on this type of topics. Um, the first thing that we saw was adverbs, which were adverbs of time, manner, place, and degree. The way we use them is describing place, frequency, time, and manner, and usually they end in li, except for the words fast, left, hardly, outside, right, straight, late, well, and time words like daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. This specific list is necessary for you to start practicing, to start getting familiar with these words. And I want you, in the activity for today, I want you to use these words correctly. The other uh, the other objective that we saw was the usage of the article. The usage of the article that, when it's necessary, when it's not necessary. We saw 6 rules concerning this topic. So remember, I want you also to use this type of abilities today. And we also saw causative verbs, right? When we start talking about delegating, when we use a connector to in different purposes, when you use the verbs, when it's not necessary to use a connector to, and when it's necessary to use a connector to, basically. That's, in a nutshell, what you have to dominate. Those are the 3 grammatical objectives that we saw this month, right? Do you have everything you need concerning these topics? Or do you need any material? Do you want me to do something? Anything you need? Tell me. No, teacher, I have everything. Ah, perfect. Amazing. No, yes, teacher. Give me screenshots. No, please. Silvana says it not, please. In the chat. Okay. Anyone else?
I'm reviewing if I have all the information
Okay,
in
check
the
it.
screen captures. Let
Check
me
your
check.
captures.
Yes, I'm not sure about the part of the causative verbs. Oh no, yes, I have. Ah, yes, I think that I have. I think what's the last topic of the article, right?
The last topic was articles, exactly.
Okay.
Usage of articles.
Yes, yes, I have all the information I
Great.
need. I hope.
Excellent. I'm gonna do some information about adverbs that I think I need like a little summary of it. But the most relevant information is here. And the exception slide, the slide of exceptions. I think those 2 slides are the most important ones. But I'm gonna pass them to you on the group because Silvana is also asking for them. So material for this month's exam. This is one. The how, of course. And the exceptions. That's the material for adverbs. In the case of the article, we have 6 rules. Let me concise it in one slide, no? So I don't pass you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Yes, I think
slides.
it's much better.
Yeah, well, I will put it all together in one, so I can pass it to you. And in the case of causative verbs, this is the summary. So I'm going to take that for homework. Here we go. That's pretty much it. Okay. So let me just give me a couple of hours so I can finish the other one and I can pass it to you. Meanwhile, let's go through punctuation part 2. What we were checking yesterday, which is the usage of commas. And today we are going to continue with the usage of commas, but now when they replace parentheses. Sometimes commas are used in English as parentheses, like you provide a complete portion of information that is related to the first subject instead of parentheses. You know, they actually replace them. So this is pretty interesting, and I think you can do it. So let's read the first section that actually yesterday Isaac read the first part, but anyway, let's read it again. Okay? Help me, Alex. You were not here yesterday, so let's begin with you.
Okay. You'll often see commas and parentheses used
Better.
alongside one another. The question is, do you place the comma after parentheses or before? Generally speaking, comma should never be placed before parentheses.
Good.
Consider the examples below and note the proper comma placement. After opening the new cookie tin and eating several of the cookies, Mary had a hard time replacing the lid. After opening the new cookie tin and eating several of cookies, Mary had a hard time replacing the lid.
It's the same idea.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
What do you observe? What observation can you make from the first paragraph?
In the first sentence, the comma it's uh, before the parentheses, and
Right.
the second one is at last of parentheses.
At last.
At the end. Sorry, at the end.
Exactly. At the end of the parenthesis.
Mm-hmm.
That particular usage is the one that is more correct.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually the parenthesis is used to add and to extend an idea, a principal idea. So the comma usually separates concepts, which is making the contrary of a parenthesis. The parenthesis is to connect more information, and the comma is to separate information. That's why we can never use the comma before it.
Okay.
You see? Do everybody understand this? Does everybody, not do everybody. I was mistaken. Right? Cool.
Right.
Taking that into consideration, let's pass then to point number 2. Help me with the second point, Michael.
Also notes that the comma will be necessary even if the parentheses were removed, because each on depends and the dependence clause.
Again, because what?
Because each Jones a depend and independence clauses.
Watch out.
Dependence clause.
Let's go first. What does it join first?
It joins a depend and independent.
Again,
Depend?
pronunciation. We have 3 syllables.
Dependent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Dependent
And independent clauses.
and independent clause.
Clause.
That's
Okay.
right. This word is like Santa Claus.
Clause.
Okay.
Okay.
What is a dependent and independent clause? Well, let me use other vocabulary because dependent and independent clause is grammar terminology and it's hard to explain. So let me give you other name because it joins a portion of information with a complete idea. Paréntesis. Also called independent clause. A portion of information, also called. Do you remember what is the acronym for also known as?
AKA.
Silvana. AKA. Join a portion of information, AKA dependent clause with a complete idea, AKA independent clause. Do you get what I mean? Or do anybody has a question?
No, well, I think that it's easier to understand in that way because the first part will be like a sentence, but if we don't add more information, it will be like incomplete, no?
Precisely. Precisely, because if we say after opening the new cookie tin and we collocate a period, it's like, what? Continue the
Yes,
idea, no?
yes,
It's incomplete.
yes,
That's precisely
exactly.
the reason.
So
So,
I think, for example, that the first phrase is like correct, grammatically correct, but it's like incomplete idea, no?
which one? Which one?
And the first one after opening the new cookie team.
At the first section of the sentence.
Yes, yes.
Totally.
So that's correct, but it's like incomplete.
And this is where we collocate the comma. Yesterday
Yes,
we saw that it's a
yes,
lot of information, no? That technically is incomplete with the rest.
yes,
All right, it's like we're connecting yesterday's topic with today's topic. After opening the new cookie tin, which is a lot of information, instead of using suspension points or I don't know, because it's a lot of information, we need a comma. That's a good observation, Isaac. Got it, guys? Do you understand what is a portion of information then?
Yeah. It's similar a consequence or other information. No?
Can be. Can be because you know what? It can
What
happen.
happened? No? What happened with this information?
More than that. More than that. It can happen with conditionals too.
Okay.
You spoke about a consequence, no?
Uh-huh.
Conditional number 1 speaks about consequence.
Mhm.
For example, if I if I if I don't go to the party, What do you think can happen? Complete the sentence. Mike.
If I don't go to the party,
Mhm.
I wouldn't see a girl.
Mhm. Wouldn't is imaginary. A consequence is never imaginary.
No, it's
Consequence is
will.
real. No,
Okay.
how do you speak about real future?
Real future. Going to?
That's a plan. Check your structures handbook. When you talk about predictions, you use will.
Okay.
You see?
Yeah.
So if I don't go to the party,
I won't see my friends.
I won't see my friends. You said a girl.
Yeah.
Yes. I won't see Angelina Jolie. In that part, in this sentence, what is a portion of information and what is a complete idea?
I think the complete idea is I won't see my friends.
Exactly, because that's person verb complement. And that's a complete idea. If you put this sentence or this idea alone, you can understand.
Yeah.
But if you have, if I don't go to the party, period, sounds incomplete.
Yeah.
For that reason, because this is dependent, you need a comma.
Okay. Okay.
You see?
Gotcha.
That's the reason it's important to know what part of the sentence or what portion of the sentence is dependent to the other. When you use connectors like after, if, when you use conjunctions like because, although, you can talk about that actually. These words indicate dependent clauses. Because, although, even though, even if, etc. Take a note because this after and before los person verb complement.
However, también. However.
However, too. Yes, however, too. However, yeah, probably. Example, however, I don't think so. Because
For example,
you use it as
the
a
conditional.
connector.
However, I will finish my homework. No?
But yes, however, I will finish my homework sounds like a complete idea.
Okay.
So I don't think that one applies. Yeah, you need to talk about dependent clauses.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you understand. Perfect. That's the first part. Now let's go with this. Commas and parentheses aren't always used together. Let's read this section. Help me, Rafa. Let's start with you.
Yes, teacher. Commas and parentheses are often used together, but
Pronunciation. What is the past of use?
used.
Excellent. One more time.
Commas and parentheses are often used together,
Perfect.
but they serve separate purposes within a sentence. Thus, commas should be used with parentheses only if the sentence would require a comma without the parentheses. The example below illustrates this point.
Before we continue, let's check this word because I think that's precisely what level of word is this. B2.
Uterus. Ah,
Don't ask me, okay? That was so embarrassing. But no context. I have a very good reason, okay? I
okay.
promise. That was so awkward. Okay, what is thus?
Thus,
Thus,
Yeah, what is this?
um, in this way, like this, many schools. It's I didn't know it. Thus,
But do you understand the synonym, right?
yeah, but like this.
Like
Thus,
this. In this way. So
yes,
substitute, for example, here. In this way, commas should be used with parentheses.
yes.
Okay?
Okay, okay. Teacher.
That's the one. Read
The example.
examples. Yes, of course.
Yeah. Peter cleaned his room before going out to play basketball.
What is the past of cleaning?
Cleaned.
Yes. One more time.
Peter cleaned his room before going out to play basketball. Peter cleaned his room, rumbling, rumbling all the while before going out to play basketball.
Good. Just a second. Grumbling. Do we understand grumbling?
Rumbling now.
Let's take over here. Grumbling. She's
Clean,
grumbling.
rumbling. Okay. Okay. It makes all sense.
Here, exactly. Yes, that was very important because he
Okay.
wants to go
Peter,
out to play.
yes. Peter cleaned his Peter cleaned his room, rumbling all the while before going out to play basketball.
What do you observe about the commas?
The second one I think is correct.
The second one.
Yeah,
Why?
because comma is after the parentheses.
But you
Um,
are talking about the first rule, the first one that we read.
yes,
Commas should be used only if the sentence would require a comma without the parentheses. Only. So, for example, in the first sentence, the comma is not necessary.
yes,
Why? Because Peter cleans his room is a complete idea.
Well,
Difference.
so
Uh-huh.
the number 3 is correct.
Exactly. The third is correct because it's different to idea number 1. In the first part, we have after opening the new cookie tin, then we use a comma because if we consider this a sentence, it's incomplete.
Yes.
In this case, Peter cleaned his room is complete, therefore it's not necessary to use a comma.
Yes, you're right.
Therefore, the second one is the right one. Just like that. Questions on this one? Anyone?
No.
Nobody? Are you sure? Okay. Then let's go on. Okay. Next part. Continue with the last part. Go, Alex.
Since the main, sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
Sorry. Since the main sentences without the parentheses does not require a comma, it's
Again.
not necessary.
Sentences are plural.
Sorry, parentheses.
One more time. Sentences are plural. Singular?
Okay, sentence. Okay, sorry.
Okay, one more time.
Since the main sentence without the parentheses does not require a comma, it's not necessary to add a comma when inserting a parenthesis.
That's right.
Using the next paragraph.
No, we're still analyzing this part.
Okay.
We're still analyzing this part. Can you explain this paragraph to the class?
Okay, let me check.
Try to read, whenever you are reading, try to understand what you're reading, because one thing is to pronounce correctly, other thing is to understand. We need to connect both at the same time.
When the first when the main idea is complete, it doesn't need a comma when use parentheses. No,
Who use a parenthesis?
when we use
When we use a parenthesis. Again. The main idea, I didn't understand.
Okay, when the main idea is complete, we don't need to use the comma because no, we don't need to use a comma if
If we add a parenthesis, no? Okay,
yes.
and why the main idea doesn't need a parenthesis? In this case.
No.
Okay, you need to pay attention because that was explained by Rafa. Read over here. First, you need to contrast why the previous one needs a comma. to understand why the second doesn't need a comma. Read here.
Also note that the comma will be necessary even if the parentheses were removed because it joins a portion of information. Acá the AKA dependent clause.
What is AKA?
I don't
Also known as. Pay attention because we spoke about this. AKA, also known as.
Okay. 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 AKA also known as. Also known what?
As.
Also known as dependent clause. Okay.
Exactly.
With a complete idea. Also known as independent clause.
That's right. So why here we need a comma?
Because it's a complete idea, no?
It's a complete idea? What do you mean?
Okay.
Okay, let me help you. Do you know what is joins?
I think so. It's I don't know. Add a portion of information.
Add can be put together. Add
Okay.
is a little bit different.
Okay.
So you put together a portion of information with a complete idea.
Okay.
The portion of information depends on the complete idea. For example, the portion after opening the new cookie tin. This portion, if you finish the sentence here, is it complete or incomplete?
Incomplete.
Why?
Because we need more information, or
Exactly, because when you say after, you understand that this is not the principal information. This is only like, in a way, the complement.
Yes.
Well, that's the reason you need a comma.
Okay.
On the other example, the example of Peter, we have Peter cleaned his room. If I finish the sentence here, is it complete or incomplete?
It's complete.
It's complete. Therefore, I don't need a comma. The rest of the information is a complement. That's the function of a comma.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. In the third case, we remove the comma because the portion of information is
It's complete.
okay.
Peter cleaned his room. And actually, it's not that we remove it. It's that we don't need it.
Don't need. Okay. Yes. I try to say that. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, because to remove says that it was originally there, but originally there is no comma here.
Okay.
Therefore, in the last part, it's not necessary either. But on the other side, if you use a parenthesis separating a portion of idea. For example, after opening the new cookie tin, here, after opening the new cookie tin and eating several of the cookies, in this case, I need a comma after the parentheses.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
Contrary to this.
Okay.
That's the analysis that we need to do. Commas have a very, very interesting interaction in English. It's super different from Spanish, as you can see. Super, super different. Do you agree, guys?
Yes.
Good. Anyone else? Do you understand? Do you have questions? Are you sure, people?
No, well, no, right now, no, but I think that it will be a little difficult to remember all this information.
Yes, do you think so?
Yes.
Nah, when you are
I
writing.
think that I don't write correctly even in Spanish, so
Oh, well, that's gonna be a challenge. Yes, because if we
But it's
have
different.
exactly, well, that's a good point. If it's a different rule, then you are going to memorize it anyway. Probably it will help you contrast it with your mother language.
yes, yes, I think that I need to memorize these rules.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And even though when you are speaking, you will notice sometimes it sounds separated naturally. When you hear American people speaking, you will see, okay, in that portion I would collocate a comma. In that section I need a comma. And when you watch movies in English, you need to observe where are the commas. It's every time like read a book, observe the commas. Right? That is the secret. Which is okay. Using commas within parentheses. Do you understand what is within?
I
No.
think so.
It's like
Inside.
Yes.
without
It's like without, no. It's similar to inside.
inside. Okay.
You know? Have you seen this movie Leonardo DiCaprio called
Inception.
The Inception? Exactly.
Yes.
It's a dream within a dream. You see?
Okay.
Watch it in English. Homework.
Okay.
So using commas within parentheses is when the commas go in. This is an interesting one too. Let's check it out. Sylvie, are you home already?
No.
Not. So why it sounds so relaxing? 1, 2, 3, action.
Okay. Using commas within parentheses. When using commas and parentheses, it's also important to distinguish commas that punctuate the main sentence from commas that punctuate.
Mhm.
Is it correct? Punctuate?
That's an excellent question. So look at that. The apostrophe is in the first syllable.
Punctuate.
Punctuate. Very good.
Punctuate.
And this symbol is cha.
Punctuate.
Punctu. Chu chu chu.
Okay. Punctuate.
Much better. One more time.
Okay. When using commas and parentheses, it's also important to distinguish commas that punctuate the main sentence from commas that punctuate the material within the parentheses. You will see commas properly used with parentheses. You will see commas properly used within parentheses, but this is only the case if these commas serve the parenthetical information, not the main sentence. See the sample sentences below. Okay.
Read examples.
The teacher choose 3 students. Choose or choose?
Choose
The
is
teacher
present.
choose Yeah, the teacher is it past?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
but it's
choose
with
is with
double
double O.
O.
Exactly. In past, the pronunciation changes.
Chose.
Chose.
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay, the teacher chose 3 students, Rachel, Ashley, and Tom, to represent the class at the convention. The second example is when they arrived, finally, the students were promptly shown to their rooms. What is promptly?
Very good question.
Promptly.
That
It's
is
like soon.
exactly. It needs an adverb, as you can see. Soon, as soon as possible,
Okay.
promptly.
Okay. The third sample, when they arrived, finally, the students were promptly shown to their rooms. And the fourth example, when they arrived, finally, the students were promptly shown to their rooms.
Right. So the first one is a demonstration of how commas are used normally, because it's a series of words. It's Rachel, Ashley, and Tom. But then the other three, we have the same sentence, but a different usage of a comma. According to the description, Sylvie, what is the correct usage of the comma?
Mm, I think that it is, I don't know, because I'm thinking in Spanish, the first one, but maybe it could be, I don't know if the third one. No, let me think.
Okay. Read this section, especially the last idea.
Oh,
It's too small, sorry.
yeah, but it is okay. I already, okay. Yes, it is the first one because it says that you use comma within parentheses only if it serves to the information inside the parentheses.
Exactly.
Like Rachel, Ashley, and Tom
And
are
Tom.
like a list. Well, not a
Exactly.
list, but well, yes, something like the list. But it says that only if that that if comma serve to the information inside the parentheses. But
Totally.
finally, it is not necessary to use it inside.
Exactly.
Well,
Finally, it's just an exclamation that the person decided to use, and there has no connection with the principal idea. Therefore, we cannot use commas there. You see? This happens when you are, for example, talking on WhatsApp or talking on Instagram, on the chat, when you are talking about other people, or you're talking to people and then you want to give an opinion, your personal input. You can put it as a parenthesis, you know?
okay.
And this, because this finally is like, I personally think that it was
Think.
A miracle, right? That's the reason we use commas in this case. No, we don't. We don't use commas in this case.
Okay.
Got it, people? Did everybody understood the usage of commas?
Teacher,
Rafa,
you can't write a comma after uh how can I say this finally this thing this character, how can I say signo de admiración.
exclamation point.
Ah, yeah. You what? Can you write a comma after a exclamation point?
Excellent question. Never. An exclamation point usually finishes the sentence, so it's considered a period. Unless it's part of a dialogue. Do you know what is a dialogue?
No, I don't know.
A dialogue is
Ah, yeah.
Ron says, bloody hell, Harry. You know?
Yes.
Bloody hell, Harry. That's an exclamation point. But then in the book, you're going to read Ron shouted. And we erase this.
Yes. Yes, but the it doesn't it it is the it isn't part of the dialogue,
Precisely. It is not part of the dialogue. The thing that
the
is
action.
quoted, totally. That's the only way you can put a comma after an exclamation point.
Okay. Right. I had the I had the question, but because in Spanish you can't
We also, exactly, it's similar
you
to
also
Spanish
can't.
in this case.
Yes.
That's a trick when you say, okay, the English is different. Yes, teacher, but the English is similar sometimes, you know. So
Yes.
that's a difficult part. Totally
Okay.
yes. Good job, people. Let's keep it a little pause. Let's do something. Jesse will pass attendance, and you will start your document or WhatsApp or whatever, because I want you in these 15 minutes to send me an exercise. Okay? So not about drivers in the city. Let's talk about other thing. Meanwhile, Jesse, 1, 2, 3, action.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. So, is here Mike?
Here.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. Rafael?
Hello, Jesse.
Hi,
Bye.
Rafael. Thank you. Silvana?
I'm here, Yesy. Thank you.
Hi, Silvana. Thank you. Isaac?
Hello, here.
Hi. Hi, Isaac. Thank you. Alex?
Here, Jesse. Good night.
Hi, Alex. Thank you. Luis.
Luis absent.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you, Yesy. You too.
You too.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. See.
Action, guys. Why is it important for Mexicans to learn English as a second language? Write at least 100 words and send it to me via WhatsApp. You have the rest of the class. Perfect. So I have Alexis and Rafa. Good job. What about Mike's, Isaac, and Sylvie?
I'm trying to finish it, but I need 20 more words.
Good job. Okay. Okay. Thanks to you, Alex. Have a very good day. All right, guys. Finish your writing, and I will see you tomorrow for a listening exercise before our exam. That is going to be on Friday.
Okay,
Right.
teacher, thank you.
Good job, guys. Good job. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.